Gentlemen, how you guys doing? I hope all has been well. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. I hope you guys have been out there killing it, being successful, kicking butt. And so today we're gonna go over the top 10 most versatile pieces of survival gear that I think you can have in your survival bags, in your kits, in your journey to be more prepared. So let's get into it. Okay, before we get started on this list, quick disclaimer, I did not put a multi-tool on there because that's just too easy. Like, I mean, a multi-tool, of course, it's probably gonna be the most versatile. It has everything on it, right? So that's too easy. We're gonna get a little bit more creative, and I think this list is gonna be good. So let's get into it at number 10. At number 10, we have the simple metal cup. Now, I picked this at number 10 because I think it could be overlooked, right? Like, one of the things I really like about this metal tin is that if you polish up the bottom or even the insides, you can use it as a signaling device. You can obviously use it to boil water. You can grab a stick, dig in the dirt, and you can actually use this as a shovel. You can, as a shovel to maybe like to dig out a hole. You can put hot coals in it to transport if you need to go someplace else. I think there's a lot of uses for this metal cup, and something not to be overlooked. I think it's a great and very versatile piece of gear to have in your kit. At number 9, I have the Flathead Screwdriver. Now, the main purpose, obviously, for screws, right? But most screws, regardless if they're Phillips or flathead, have a slot in them so that you can use a flathead screwdriver, which is great because that means it's going to be more versatile for both of those type of screws. Then you go into survival items, so maybe you need to pry something open. Maybe you can use this as a self-defense tool. If you get it and you take it to a rock, you can actually sharpen the tip right here. You can use it as a tool for carving wood, which is great for building. You can also makes a better self-defense tool. And if you just want to shuffle through something that you don't want to get your hands in, you can use it for that. So great tool to have. It's lightweight, it's compact, just really versatile. All right, at number 8, I have a flashlight. And I would even go a little bit further and say a high lumens flashlight. When I say high lumens, I mean anything above at least 300 lumens. If you can get to 600, I would say that's even better. The reason why I put this at number 8 is because obviously you use it to see things, right? But the security that you also get when you have a high visibility flashlight, or a flashlight in general, is very important. It's security, it can be self-defense. You shine this in somebody's eyes, you can use that to kind of maneuver and get around. You can use it for searching at night and signaling, which is very important, especially at night. You want to be able to be seen to get help. That high visibility is going to do it. So there's a lot of flashlights to pick from. Just something with high lumens, I would highly recommend. At number 7, I have a hatchet. Now, I have tried a bunch of hatchets, and I have found I like this one probably the most, which is a DeWalt hatchet. I thought that right out of the box, it had a really nice blade, no need to go off and sharpen it. So many hatchets come where you have to sharpen them as soon as you buy them. It's one of the most annoying things ever. The other thing that I like is that it's a full metal build, which is nice. I've tried the wood handles, and the thing that the pros and cons is that the wood handles are better when you actually smack because it's less vibration. So when you actually go to chop, you have less vibration that goes to the elbow. So it's a little bit more user-friendly, but I found that this is just so much more durable. And when it comes to, you could almost substitute this for a knife, a saw, and a hammer. This is almost 3-in-1, right? You can use this to build. Obviously, you can use it to chop. You can use it as a self-defense. if you keep this blade clean enough, sharp enough, you can even do some game cleaning with it, and self-defense, right? You swing this at somebody, that's not going to be a good day for them. So I think a hatchet is probably one of the best tools to have in your bags. Okay, at number 6, I've got duct tape. Now, if I had to choose, I would pick a high visibility duct tape, like a yellow, an orange, something like that, because you can string pieces of it off, put it on your car, you can write a note, it's gonna be seen a lot easier, right? You can't do that with black duct tape. So if you can just even get silver, like your standard silver, that's good. But duct tape, I think, is just very, very versatile. Now, I've been told that you can use this as a fire starter. I have not tried that. I've just heard that you can. If it's true and if it does work, that just adds to the list. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it comes to patching, a shelter, if you need to reinforce the edges of a shelter to wrap your cordage around, you can do that with duct tape. This could even flex into a medical situation. If you need to wrap a wound, you can use this as that. I mean, there's just so many uses for duct tape, right? And you gotta have it. It's lightweight. It doesn't take up much room. I really like this Gorilla one. This thing like sticks to everything. This is awesome. I like this stuff. 100% tough. Yeah, they're not wrong. Gentlemen, if you've gotten even a sliver of information from this video, can you do me a favor and smash that like button? It would help the video out greatly. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would love for you to be a part of the group and see where this channel is gonna go from here. All right, let's get back to the list. At number 5, I have a light duty shovel. Now, I do wanna talk about this shovel particularly, but first, I think having a shovel is very, very useful. One of the most usable tools in a survival situation. You can use this if you need to dig or you need to move something that you don't want to touch with your bare hands. Obviously, you can use it to dig. Let's say you had to go up a hill that was muddy or icy. You can jab this in the ground and use it to kind of help pull yourself. Just a lot of uses for a shovel. This particular shovel I bought at Walmart. I do not recommend this shovel. I have used this a little bit out in the field, and it's aluminum, and this handle is aluminum, which I don't like. If you have to use this, it's got these serrades, right? That if you have to chop like this, the handle is gonna bend. And I know that if I use it too much, this thing is just gonna straight break. So I would not recommend this shovel, but I would recommend a shovel. One of the shovels that I do like is this guy. Now then, I would prefer this shovel over this one, right? But obviously this thing folds and breaks down, which is really nice, easy to put in your bag. But this shovel right here is just built to do some real work. It's a really, really nice shovel. I just use this thing to dig myself out of some mud, which I keep this in the truck, and I'm glad that I do, because if I didn't have it, it would have been a FUBAR day. So I'm glad that I have it. One thing to keep in mind, maybe this thing is too big. If you get something with a wood handle, you can always chop off the handle to whatever length that you need, round off the edges with files, and you can have a much shorter shovel, right? That'd be easier to pack. But I would say having a shovel is just super important to have. If anything, keep one in your car. This is better than nothing, but there's better shovels on the market, so just something to keep in mind. At number 4, I have cordage. More specifically, the high visibility cordage. Obviously, this thing is going to be used for your shelter builds, for tying together something. You can make traps out of it. You can pull the strands out and do some fishing with it. There's just a lot of uses there's just a lot of things that you're gonna need some cordage for, and this is almost a necessity. I would say these top 4 are a necessity. You should probably have these in your bag, like no matter what. And cordage is definitely on that list of things that you should have. At number 3, and this might surprise a few people, but I picked a heavy mill trash bag at number 3. The uses for this heavy mill trash bag, I think, are not only important and very useful, but there's just a lot of uses. From building a shelter to collecting brush, you can use this to sleep under. You can sleep on top of it if you put brush in it. You can collect water. You can pack your things to make it waterproof. You can pull strands of it to make some makeshift cordage. I would say don't overlook it. Very important, very useful, and very versatile to have in your bag. At number 2, I have a schmog. Now, I was gonna put a bandana, but this is basically just a bigger bandana, and I think it has more uses, so that's why I put it at number 2. But the list of things that you can do with this are incredible. Like, I bought this to have, just to keep in my bag, but I ended up using this as a scarf during the that Texas freeze that we had. Like, this thing helped keep me warm, which it was great. There's a whole like section in a survival guide on just how different ways to wrap this to cover your face in case you're trapped in smoke, in case there's debris. When it comes to first aid, you can wrap this around. There's just so many things. And this one, you definitely want to have something like this in your survival bags. Just incredibly useful. And before we get to number 1, let's go over some quick honorable mentions that just barely missed the cut, which is number 1 is a aluminum foil card. I really like the aluminum foil card. The downside about the aluminum foil card was that I just didn't find the durability in it. There's a lot of different ways to use it for signaling, for a makeshift cup, for makeshift plate. But at the end, I thought that my other items beat that one out. My survival wedge, I've shown this in numerous videos. I really like the survival wedge, but you could really make this if you can get your hands on some wood, you can make a survival wedge. So I was on the fence, but I went ahead and just put this as an honorable mention. And a Bic lighter. I would say hands down, this is probably one of the most important pieces of gear to keep in your packs. But the importance of it is really high. The versatility of it, I didn't think was as high, and so that's why I put it as an honorable mention. At number 1, and this may not be a surprise to anybody, but it is a knife. More specifically, a full tang knife. I think if you just think about the history of a knife and how long a single blade before the invention of firearms dominated warfare, right? People used blades for centuries, and to think that there's so many things that you can do as far as survival situations, just having a knife, it's easily the most versatile piece of gear that I think you can have. You can use this to pry, for self-defense, for hunting, for building. I mean, if I was gonna have just any one of these items, it would be a knife. And so there are bunches of knives on the market. I personally would not recommend this one. This is an Ozark Trail knife. I don't like it at all, but have a good, solid, full tang knife, I think is very important and a must-have, a absolute must-have to have in your bag. All right, so what did you think? How's my list? Did I miss anything? Do you think that there's something I actually could add or take away? Do you think I could swap something? What would you put in your bag that you think is more versatile than what I got? I want to hear it. I want to know. Anyways, that's all I got for you gentlemen today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe, have fun. See you guys soon. And remember, being extraordinary is a journey, not a destination. Until next time, see you soon.